I met a gentleman who traveled 400 miles to come today. You were 300 miles, 1,000 kilometers. Where are you from? Where'd you come from? Orissa State, Orissa. And where from? Where do you come from? Where? You came from Malaysia, but where are you from? I don't know. 1,000 kilometers. What's your city? What's your state? Oh, Orissa State as well. Orissa. Okay. So a lot of you have come a long way to hear from me. You come about reserve, right? You want to learn about reserve. So I'm going to tell you about two things. I'm going to do two presentations today. The first presentation I'm going to give is about resveratrol. And then my second presentation, I'm going to talk about reserve. And there's a difference. The main difference is resveratrol is the active ingredient that has lots of science, lots of people are talking about it, there's lots of scientific studies on it. And reserve is the Jeunesse brand of product that contains resveratrol, the active ingredient. And there's a reason why I'm separating the two, and I'll explain that soon. But first of all, this morning we talked about our Jeunesse Medical Advisory Council. The board consists of these 4 doctors and a couple of consultants as well. We've just announced we've added a 5th person to this group, and we're releasing his details in another week. He's assisting with this, a new global product launch that we're doing for the first time in Malaysia next week. So for now, we'll just talk about the 4 medical advisors. So reserve is primarily the brainchild of Dr. G.M. Papa. I'll go back. So Dr. G.M. Papa, so I say Newman is the outside, he's the Luminous, he's all the skincare range. G.M. Papa, first of all, was reserve, and then AMPM. So they're both anti-aging doctors. They're both plastic surgeons, so medical doctors, plastic surgeon. He's a plastic reconstructive surgeon, but also a world-leading expert on anti-aging and anti-aging technology. So reserve, we now have it in India. It's yours, and you know it's yours because of this little green dot, right? Manufactured especially for India, for well-being in India. This is not my presentation. Okay. So I'm calling this called the resveratrol revolution. You may think that's a big claim, but resveratrol revolution. It really is an ingredient that is changing the world. It's changing science. The reason why I'm doing 2 presentations is I'm going to talk about resveratrol. Jeunesse does not own resveratrol. Resveratrol, it's a natural ingredient. There are other companies that have resveratrol products. Resveratrol is being widely studied all around the world. When I talk about resveratrol, I'm going to talk about the active ingredient, and I'm also going to talk about some of the medicine, some of the science, things that the world is studying. You need to understand this very, very, very important point. When we talk about Jeunesse Reserve, we cannot and we do not make therapeutic claims in India. We cannot make medicinal claims. This is not a medicine. We cannot make what we call prophylactic or preventative claims. You cannot say, when you eat this or drink this or take this, it will stop you from getting, that's called a preventative claim. So this is not a medicine, it's a food. But it's a food that contains an active ingredient that is being studied very much by scientists, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So know that in your marketing, in your sales approach, you cannot make health or therapeutic medicinal claims about Jeunesse Reserve because it is not a medicine in India or anywhere else. Is that all correct? I'm sure anything more we need to add? Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is resveratrol, which I am going to talk about medicinally because this is public domain. Okay, so what is resveratrol, first of all? I mentioned natural ingredient. Where's it found? It's found in nature. It's found in different quantities in nature. It's found in abundance in several plant species, but particularly berries. It's most famously found in berries. What does it do? Why has Mother Nature given us resveratrol? What's its purpose? Well, resveratrol is produced by plants to assist when they're under attack by pathogens. So it's most famous in grapes, and grapes are often found, will always found with molds, yeast, and bacteria growing all around them. Molds, yeast, and bacteria can be good, they can be bad. You want them in balance. You don't want them so much that the grapes go moldy, But if anyone in the room happens to be a wine drinker, there's a thing called fermentation, which also requires it. So there's good and bad. So resveratrol is the grape's almost say immune system. If it was a human being, we'd say it's the immune system to help protect and fight and defend against pathogens.
For most of us, these bizarre, otherworldly shapes are strangely beautiful. But the world's best aging researchers see something entirely different. They see the answer to possibly the most important and complex question of all time. Dr. Sinclair, as I look here, I'm seeing very cute little colored cubes.
Well, these little cubes are actually the protein in our bodies that we believe controls the aging process.
If he is right, Dr. David Sinclair has found one of the genetic keys that will reset our biological clocks.
I think we've passed a turning point in our understanding of the aging process.
How did he discover these proteins? This looks like a barcode, but it's really a map of our genome, the blueprint of human life stored in every cell in our bodies. A few of these genes play a key role in the speed at which our cells age. Dr. Sinclair randomly tested tens of thousands of cells, searching for the chemical that would activate those genes.
We found them by accident. We stumbled upon this molecule from red wine. And when I looked on the computer, what is this resveratrol, and found that it was in red wine, I almost fell off my chair. Because, of course, we all have heard that red wine is good for you.
Just so happens, I have red wine.
To your health.
How much of this would I have to drink to really make a difference?
Well, our experiments tell us probably about 1,000 bottles a day.
So that was not the solution. Dr. Sinclair then went back to the lab and found a way to make resveratrol 1,000 times more potent. So what does it do in the body?
Well, what we have discovered is that resveratrol works on a gene which is called SIRT1, and this is a gene that controls the aging process. Resveratrol seeks out that gene and switches it on.
And with that gene activated in the mouse on the right by a high dose of resveratrol, she quickly turned into a mini Olympian, running twice as far as the untreated mouse on the left.
And they were eating a high-fat diet, a fatty diet, and they lived just as long as a lean, healthy mouse, which means that they didn't get heart disease, cancer, even osteoporosis, and they lived 30% longer.
Can you do this in humans?
With the same exact gene. And we think that resveratrol could have similar benefits in people.
Realizing the blockbuster potential for his new pill, Sinclair teamed up with biotech entrepreneur Chris Westphal, together raising more than $100 million for further research.
And we think that we can increase healthy lifespan. So if you're in your 80s, you'll be behaving as if you were in your 50s.
In the first human trial, a form of resveratrol successfully treated type 2 diabetes, one of the major diseases of aging.
If everything goes very well, we will seek regulatory approval from the FDA in the next 5 years.
I think a lot of people will say you're raising expectations. This can't possibly happen.
My answer to that is, I agree, but it's true. What else can I say? Aging is really a set of diseases, and if we slow them down and cure them, people will live longer, healthier lives.
And you're talking especially now about diabetes and Alzheimer's?
So the major killers of Western society are exactly the diseases that should be able to be treated with the drugs we're developing.
Well, you know what, Doctor?
Cheers.
That's where it began. That is not a Jeunesse production. That is from ABC television in the United States with one of the world's most famous interviewers speaking to Dr. Sinclair, the doctor who initially first discovered this special ingredient we're talking about, resveratrol. And where did he find it? In red wine. He happened to find it in red wine. But as he said, in order to get the benefits of resveratrol out of red wine, you need to drink over 1,000 bottles of wine to get enough of the good resveratrol. So at first hand, I'm sure he felt defeated. I found something so wonderfully powerful and potent, but it is so rare and hard to extract. But that's where he found it. Afterwards, they found ways to develop it, and then they've done other plants, other than grapes, that have higher concentrations of resveratrol.
And one of them is one you're going to want to hear about. A lot of folks know that red wine has been purported to be good for you. Well, it turns out that red wine is red because of a chemical in it called resveratrol. And so one of the ways we think red wines benefit health is by turning on that same anti-aging chemical.
Oh, really? But how much? Because we keep hearing the conflicting studies that if you drink more than 7, 8, 9, 10 glasses of wine a week, you're at increased risk for some cancers, women especially.
Well, for women, I would not drink more than a glass of wine or any alcohol a day. And for men, you can get a little bit more than that. Pills of resveratrol make more sense. But again, I want to warn everybody that we don't have a ton of information about this. Humans, we're not going to for another few decades. But taking proactive steps today could give us that extra longevity.
So you know who that doctor was? Have you seen him before? Yeah, I don't know if he's on TV in India, but he's huge. It's Dr. Oz. So again, this has nothing to do with Jeunesse. I want you to see that people outside of Jeunesse are talking about resveratrol, have been talking about resveratrol. They knew about this ingredient that had a powerful anti-aging effect. The many things that they mentioned. You saw the mouse. One mouse given resveratrol, one mouse without. The mouse with resveratrol ran twice as long, twice as far. They talked about resveratrol giving to your body the benefits of weight loss as though you were dieting and losing weight, even though you weren't. The positive benefits that you would achieve from weight loss can be achieved through resveratrol. Resveratrol triggers genes in your body, activates certain genes, survival genes that help to extend your life. So that's where it all started. And scientific studies have been on all aspects of resveratrol, looking at all of the different beneficial aspects for human beings. So they've been systematically looking at every disease, every ailment, every organ to see might resveratrol actually help with certain diseases. So they've found that resveratrol can bring health benefits that come with losing weight without losing weight. I mentioned that one. They've also found that resveratrol is actually completely safe for human. It's pharmacologically very safe for us because it's not a drug. It's natural. It comes from berries. It comes from grapes. So it's not a medicine. You can't overdose. When people say, can children take it? Well, can children take grapes? Can women take it? Can pregnant women, lactating women? Yes, it's just a food. It's not a medicine. It's not a drug. It comes from God. It comes from Mother Nature. It's natural.
Other studies showed that among mice fed a high-fat diet, those given resveratrol didn't gain as much weight as those not given the drug. Sinclair believes that resveratrol actually changes the physiology of the mice. The proof, he says, is in the post-mortem.
Their organs looked pristine, youthful, fat-free, and their physiology was just like they were dieting, but they were fat.
Convinced they were on the right path, they fast-tracked the drug into human trials on people with untreated diabetes, and the results were impressive. It significantly lowered glucose and insulin levels without the patients changing their diet.
So 60 Minutes, that's a big American television program, one of the biggest in the world. They were saying they've got 2 mice, both fed the same fatty diet. One mouse given resveratrol and it just didn't get fat. The organs stayed young. It's actually preserving life. Now resveratrol is not new. That's, well, maybe 10 years is when we got excited about it. It's not new to India. India has started researching resveratrol, knowing that India has many problems with health, longer age span, worst pollution in the world. There are certain health aspects for which Indians could benefit from resveratrol. So Indian government has one area, $185,000 US to back resveratrol research for India. Times of India talking about it. Indian Express, major publications. It is starting to be talked about in India. People are recognizing the scientific benefits of resveratrol for India. Do you think, you being here in this room today, some of the first people to have one of the commercially available and affordable forms of resveratrol. Do you think India needs this right now? Yes. Do you think India wants this, the results of this? Our timing for this is incredible for India. We're at the leading edge of this science. I'm going to tell you exactly, I'm going to convince you why the time is right now for India. Indians, you are living longer. You are living much longer than 1960. If we were living today in 1960, where the average age was 40.4, who in the room would be dead already? Who's older than 40.4? Okay, I'm glad it's not India 1960. India life expectancy is now, so 2015 up to 66.9, so it's an extra 1/3. So Indians are living longer thanks to improved medicine. It's not thanks to improved air quality. That's gotten worse. It's not thanks to improved diet. If you stuck to your diet and stopped eating my McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Pizza Hut, and drinking Starbucks, you'd actually live a lot longer. Western diet is also killing you, right? Making you fatter. So, something's happening that certain aspects of Indian health is getting worse, but Indian lifespan is living longer. If you want to live longer, you want to live quality life. I want to live to be 100 plus, but only if I'm good and if I'm healthy. I don't want to live a long time and be sick. So, what is killing India right now? I had to research the leading causes of death in India. The number one leading cause of death is cardiovascular disease, heart disease. Number 2 is respiratory disease. What's respiratory? Lungs. So number 1 is your heart killing you. Number 2 is lungs. Does anyone know the most polluted air in the world? Where is that? Delhi. New Delhi, number 1 worst air pollution in the world. Number 3 is tuberculosis, which is preventable. You can be immunized against that. And number 4, tumors. Now, tumors is interesting. Tumors is a manifestation of cancer. So you can also say number 4 is cancer. So I don't know if you can read this, but this is the list here, top 10 causes of death. What I want now, I want 5 people from the room. I want 5 people who've got a smartphone with good internet connection who are age 30 and under. How's that? So who's got a smartphone, internet connection, age 30 and under? 5 of you, please come up with your phones. 5. Hands up. 1. You're pushing the 30 thing, but that's okay. Come. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5. Okay, 5. Okay, line up. I want you to turn your phone on to whatever browser app you use, whether it's Chrome or Safari or Firefox. You need to do this. You need to know this. I don't want you to believe me anymore when I say you need to research the science for yourself. I want each of you to open your browsers. Each of you type in the word resveratrol. If you need to spell it, see it's up there. Type in resveratrol. Just resveratrol. Okay, now number 1, I want you to type, so resveratrol, and can you type heart disease? Cardiovascular. So you are resveratrol heart disease, you are resveratrol respiratory, you are resveratrol tuberculosis, you are resveratrol space tumors, and you are a wild card. You know what that means? Someone give me the name of any disease that you may, diabetes, you want diabetes? Okay, so you are resveratrol space diabetes. So I want us to find out, to collectively as a group, in the world of science online, are there scientific studies talking about will resveratrol help the top 5 or 4 leading causes of death in India? Will this ingredient, this product that we have launching today in India, don't believe me, I could be a liar, believe science. Are there scientific studies saying that this will help? So, in your search, just as summary, is there anything that you've found that is positive concerning resveratrol and your heart? So just read one. There's like the blue line and something.
Okay, there is a positive thing that heart failures in the final consequence of majorities of cardiovascular disease has been used by resveratrol for heart construction.
Hooray, it works. So resveratrol helps with the #1 killing in India, heart disease. Thank you. So you are lung, respiratory. Does resveratrol help with respiratory diseases?
Resveratrol, a phytochemical known as oxidative properties, has been explored worldwide for anti-cancer potential. We perform this systematic review and the meta-analysis in order to register the efficacy, the result against lung carcinogens.
Okay, so talk about resveratrol being antioxidant, but it specifically said lung cancer, which is the leading respiratory disease. So, #2 killer, does resveratrol help with lungs? Yes. #3, tuberculosis. Does resveratrol help with the 3rd highest killer in India? Tuberculosis? Yeah, well what's that? Yeah, read the summary. It's a mouthful, it's a lot of science.
I regulates bacterial
Immunopathogens. Translate that.
Okay. Oh my God. Post-curated one regulates mycobacterial immunopathogenesis and represents a therapeutic target against tuberculosis.
So summary is
The certain that you will...
certain gene
Yeah.
works against tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis,
Okay, so
correct.
we have 3 positive strikes. There are scientific studies saying that this product will help with tuberculosis. Let's go for 4. Are you going to add one more? What do you want to add?
The conclusion, it can be concluded that resveratrol holds a good potential for future use as highly efficient therapeutic agent to deal with the deadly lung cancerogenesis.
That's strong. That's a strong word from the conclusion. So lung to lung cancer. Okay, we're at tumors. Tumors are kind of cancer. It's often the same. What is the conclusion or summary? You've Googled the whole entire scientific so just find one sentence. Or actually go back to the browser, because usually the browser has a history. Okay. Oh, just read that. Read that one, that heading. Don't open it, just read the heading. That's powerful. So you found a scientific study that says
6 ways resveratrol supplements help prevent cancer.
okay, so in one study, it's summarizing 6 different ways that resveratrol helps with cancer. Okay, so positive. So resveratrol is helping #1, 2, 3, 4, and you were the wild card out from the audience. What was it? Diabetes. Okay, does resveratrol help diabetes? Yeah, can you read that? Just a summary. No, that's saying what resveratrol is. Vascular, so that's blood. Oh, go back one. Go back to the browser, because I don't want you to open the studies, just the browser. Okay. Well, there's several here. Resveratrol and diabetes from animals to human studies. Is resveratrol safe if you have diabetes? Resveratrol is reconsidered, a diabetes self-management. Diabetes and resveratrol. So each of these, like all of these summaries, the anti-diabetic effect of resveratrol. So on one screen alone, there's 5 different scientific studies on resveratrol. Let's give our assistants a round of applause. Thank you all for your help. The reason why I wanted to do that is I wanted to show you how you can find out your own answers. Don't believe me, resveratrol is being scientifically studied for almost everything. I have traveled all around the world and I've so far have not found any ailment that has not yet been, where someone has not found that someone somewhere is doing a study on resveratrol and that particular disease or ailment. He went to one tiny kingdom in Africa, the kingdom of Lesotho. Have you heard of Lesotho? It's a tiny little dot. In Lesotho, 1/3 of the population is HIV positive. So they were very interested to know, does resveratrol help with HIV? And the doctors were Googling it and they found the answers. And a movement has started, a natural supplement that can help with the #1, 2, 3, 4, and I even dare say all top, well, except for road injuries. I know we help with road injuries. Road injury, suicide, that's out. But the top 10 natural biological causes of death in India, resveratrol has an answer. So if you have someone who has fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, migraine headaches, prostate, Google it. Just have a look. Might resveratrol help that person? So, my quick summary, I did my own research beforehand. This is just some that I found in the top 4. So, heart health disease, pulmonary is your heart disease, respiratory, lungs, resveratrol on, this one is tuberculosis, preventing cancer. So it's there. The scientific studies are all there. Go find them yourself. Don't believe me. So resveratrol has been proven benefits on many ailments, but also your skin. We began particularly interested when we began with the Luminesse line. So resveratrol also helps your skin, and there's many scientific studies done to see how it will help improve our skin, appearance-wise, but health-wise. What we do, so there are some countries that have a topical application of resveratrol, where they've got cream with resveratrol in it. Does that work? A little bit. Like, there are some benefits for putting resveratrol on your skin, but the greatest benefit for your skin is a living organ, is to eat resveratrol, not to put it on topically. So it's what they call dietary delivery. You eat the resveratrol, then it goes all through your body. It goes through your epidermis, which is outside skin, your dermis, which is the underneath skin, all through your body, all through the layers of fat. And what can it do? What will happen to your skin when you eat resveratrol? So this is, again, I give you the scientific studies where this comes from. Resveratrol supplementation has been shown to help your skin in these 5 main ways. So antioxidants, so stopping aging of the skin, oxidization, moisturizing, softer, supple, less fine lines, wrinkles, skin elasticity, that is your skin bouncing back again. You want your skin to bounce back. Skin surface, smoothness, shininess, pores, textures, and also brown spot intensity, discoloration. So there have been several scientific studies done on the skin. What will resveratrol do to your skin to make it more beautiful, more desirable skin? So first one, antioxidants. You can look with and without the benefits. So compared to 60 days, so that's just 2 months of taking resveratrol, how much the skin improves here. Okay, 60 days again, looking before and after. Antioxidant capacity. Skin anti-aging. This one, the elasticity. If you go to your children and do this, pinch the skin, see how it snaps back. Go to your grandmother and you do this, and it just stays there, like for 1 minute, then slowly goes. That's elasticity. You want this. You want it to be like a trampoline. That's elasticity, which keeps your skin young and supple. So again, reserve without reserve. Surface, wrinkles. You don't want wrinkles. When you look at eating, so this is not putting on your skin, this is eating reserve. Roughness diminishes. Wrinkle depth, so the depths of wrinkles fill out. So reserve, even though we're not putting it on our skin, just eating it, your skin will start to noticeably improve. Brown spots, discoloration, pigmentation, hormonal challenge women may have. You can see the difference here. By taking reserve, the intensity of the age spots will improve. Another study, this is the reference, another study found that resveratrol reduces acne pimples by 54%. After only 30 days. So now this is 1 month. Taking resveratrol for 1 month will reduce your pimples by more than half. That's a big, big improvement, more than half in 1 month. Another study showed that the more you take, it's called a dose dependency relationship, the more you take, the greater the increase in skin cell growth, so your skin grows better, grows faster, and decrease in the breaking down of collagen. So collagen and elastin are the two that cause your skin to be strong, stretchy, to rebound, to be flexible. So the resveratrol revolution They're the key things that I wanted you to understand about resveratrol. So some of the things that it does, and the fact even if you weren't excited before, people who know more than you and me, doctors and scientists, are really excited about resveratrol. You usually manufacture one drug and it does one thing, but they're looking at resveratrol again and again at every different ailment, and it's starting to work and help all different things. And we still don't fully understand why, but when you understand what it does in nature, it is designed to protect right down to the grapes and the berries where it comes from. It is the immune system. It is the defense mechanism. You think, I wonder if as a human, if we ate that, will those abilities transfer into our bodies? We're finding that yes, when we eat the resveratrol from nature, it is having a similar effect in our bodies to make us stronger, immune system stronger, and help us to fight off aging diseases, the things that are causing us to age, and it's doing that in many different ways. I now want you to hear from one of our doctors. He has been here to India. No, not yet. Okay, he wants to come to India. He was going to come for this trip. He's Dr. William Amzalag from the Medical Advisory Board. He's delivering a presentation on reserve and resveratrol. It is not specifically for India, so he makes claims against reserve that we could not make, that we're not legally allowed to make here in India, but in a private closed meeting. We have a disclaimer. Please enjoy learning from one of our Jeunesse Scientific Advisory Board members, Dr. William Amzalag.
Hello everybody, this is William.
Dr. William Amzalag from Medical Advisory Board Council. He knows his stuff. Now disclaimer, a lot of what he said we cannot say in India. This is not a video that you can use in your marketing here because Indian law does not allow us to make the health therapeutic claims about reserve that he's able to make in Europe. So you need to understand that difference. But what I want you to get from that video is that there's just so much that resveratrol can do. If someone came to me and said, I have a product that can do almost everything, I said, will it help cancer? Yeah. Tumors? Yeah. Heart? Yeah. Tuberculosis? You're a liar. There's no one product that can across the board help with so many things. He mentioned coordination, memory, what else did he mention? I've heard so many stories. A lot of fertility as well. Many people having trouble making babies, take reserve. In the bedroom, yeah, I hear those stories too. You know what I mean? So, resveratrol. Do what I did. Google resveratrol. Now you're going to Google resveratrol and sex, right? Google resveratrol and things more important than sex. Resveratrol, and if your friend's struggling with an eczema, even eyesight. So find out for yourself. I cannot tell you the comprehensive list of things that it can do. Science, they still don't know. There's still so many studies. India government is now investing money into the study of resveratrol to benefit the people of India. So now let's talk about reserve. This is the Jeunesse brand of product that contains many different fruits and extracts and is a highly concentrated source of resveratrol. So this launched just this week. Sales started just last week with the launch in New Delhi. I asked earlier, who in the room has already gone online? Who's already ordered a box of reserve in India? Who's already placed their order? Good. I'd like to ask this question tomorrow because I think every hand in the room will go up. So it's now for sale. You need to understand what it is because maybe before you didn't know what it was. We said this new product, why are you going to buy it if you don't know what it is and what it's going to do? So in summary, this is what it looks like. You know this is Indian packaging because of the green dot. This has been approved by Indian government, Indian customs, FSSAI. The scientific community has gone through so many reviews and it now has the India thumbs up. Just as we sell this in more than probably 130 countries around the world have buying Jeunesse Reserve since day one that we began Jeunesse. So what does it do? With aging is a general aging tonic, so it contains powerful antioxidants. There are things other than resveratrol. Resveratrol is not the only thing. It has some natural sugars, it has vitamin C, of course, but What it primarily does is it helps with our aging. I showed you the graph, India living longer. If you want to live longer with a good quality of life, the most important part of aging is not the number of years that we live, but rather our chronological age. You can be 50, but inside your cells have the life of a 60-year-old or a 40-year-old. It's much better to be told, to say, well, the computer says your skin is the skin of a 20-year-old. You say, well, I'm actually 30, so I feel fantastic. You don't want to be 30 and say, oh, look at you, you look like you're 40, you look like you're 50, you look so tired and run down. You want a young body. You want your chronological age to be older than your biological age. So how do we do that? Inside our body, every day there's a war going on, there's a fight. It's called oxidative damage. It's one of the great ironies in life. Two things that we need to live. We need the sun, we need oxygen. There are also two things that are killing us every day. So sun damage, UV light, radiation, and oxygen. So every day we need oxygen to live, but it's the same oxygen that is rusting or oxidizing our body. So we need to have that in balance. We need antioxidants to fight the negative effects of oxygen, which is oxidization. So it's damage versus repair. The way things we get older is caused by oxidation, also inflammation, swelling in our joints, our cells, but also this one, glycation. Anyone know what glycation? We've got a couple of doctors, don't we? A couple of our Sapphires above were doctors. Glycation I call stickiness, so your blood. Blood can get sticky over time. So sometimes you take warfarin, blood thinners, you've got heart problems, you're like your father goes to the doctor, they give him medicine to make your blood more thin. You want the right balance, right thinness of blood. When you glycation, sugar, stickiness, getting older, that also leads to aging, dying. So what can cause all of this? Apart from age, aging is inevitable. We will get older, we will all die, but when? You have control over that with healthy lifestyle. So from outside, environmental toxins, pollution, cigarettes, one of the worst, bad lifestyle, eating junk food, too much alcohol, getting fat, being lazy, everything your mother has always told you. Your mother is correct, right? Okay, the aim, what we want to do is stop the damage, number one, but there's always damage going on, but repair the damage. So decrease the damage, increase the repairing of the damage, increase our antioxidants, increase our ability to stop oxidation at the cellular level. So what is oxidation? It's a big word. I say rust. You know, rust, this is oxidation. This also on an apple, this is oxidation. And this is what happens inside our body. The oxygen will oxidize, will rust our body, but our body produces antioxidants, but we can supplement it with our diet, taking a powerful antioxidant, anti-rust in the body. So when you have good lifestyle, good diet, vitamin C, very strong antioxidant, you help in this battle inside your body to be stronger, live longer. So what does our reserve contain? It contains a number of natural ingredients, a number of botanicals, aloe vera, grapeseed, pomegranate, this one, Japanese knotweed, it's quite an important one, and grape juice. So all comes from nature. That's why it is not a drug as such. In India, it's not a medicine. There is a way to measure the powerful, how powerful the antioxidant is. It's called the CAP-E test. And you know, we've done this several times. You see different numbers. Dr. Amzalag mentioned a CAP-E test. This one, we say 37.1 units per cubic centimeter of antioxidants. And we've actually printed this, so you can go to back office and get the CAP-E test. So we have proof of the antioxidant scavenging potential of reserve. and this is the measure, it gives you 37.1 units per cubic centimeter of antioxidant ability. So this is what it looks like. This is some of the images that we've made especially for India because we wanted to capture the green dot to let all of India know that Jeunesse's reserve is vegetarian. So what can it do for your body in summary? So Dr. Anzala talked about one of the ways you can live longer is to eat less. The less you eat to a certain point, calorie restriction. If you eat 40% less, you may live for 30% longer. But who wants to do that? Boring. I love food. I love Indian food. We just had a big lunch. So wouldn't it be good if you could get the benefits of dieting without actually dieting? Is that a big seller? Yes. Could you be like a multi-millionaire if you could help someone with weight loss and the physical benefits of dieting and exercise and weight loss without actually having to eat less? Okay, it's kind of cheating and I don't recommend it, but reserve can give you the same type of benefits as though you were being a good boy or good girl and you were eating properly, you were dieting, you were fasting and eating 40% less. So what happens when you take reserve, it activates the survival genes, so they call the sirtuin genes. It actually, in your DNA, your chromosomes, there's certain chromosomes that are sleeping. But when you're starving, when you're running, when you're panicking, survival genes, certain DNA wakes up and can help your body to fortify itself, to make itself stronger. Well, reserve will do that without you having to do the calorie restriction. When you activate this sirtuin enzyme, the sirtuin enzyme, it then boosts all of your system. It's like adrenaline shot. All of a sudden your cardiovascular system becomes stronger. Your immune system, your brain works stronger, your lungs, your digestive, all of your body. It's like you take your car to the mechanic and he just cleans out all of the engine. He puts in a really, really good fuel. He changes the oil. It's like a service for your body, an overhaul for your body. The sirtuin enzyme just activates everything and moves it up a level, makes it run faster, better, stronger. So resveratrol also stimulates sirtuin, the sirtuin gene. It's the same as if you were eating less. Your body starts to respond the same and starts to perform at a higher level, peak performance. So different health benefits. Some of the things we can say about reserve. So endurance, run fast. Remember the two mice? One mouse ran twice as fast, exactly the same mouse, same diet. One had resveratrol, not reserve, resveratrol. Energy, strength, muscle fatigue. If you're jogging, exercising, lifting weights, coordination, different activities, memory even. Everyone wants better memory. Reaction time, fat regulation, so dieting. So the list is endless. What I want you to do is on your own study resveratrol. There's enough on the internet produced around the world. There's even enough in India. What India is doing studying resveratrol, that you can become, say, an armchair expert just by Googling online, like just exactly what I showed you to do up the front. I don't know these people. I didn't change the phones. I had no control. They searched and found the answers for themselves to reserve. So how do you take it? How much should you take? Well, first thing to know is the gel form. So other companies have a resveratrol in a capsule or a dehydrated tablet. The gel form increases the bioavailability, meaning gel. As soon as you put gel in your mouth, it's already working under the tongue, sublingual, under the tongue. It already starts moving through your body. When you study it, it goes more quickly throughout your body. You utilize more of it, better diffusion throughout your digestive system. We say take 1 to 3 sachets per day, any time of the day. Doesn't matter so much. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I know of people taking up to 8. I've heard crazy stories. People quite unwell taking up to 10. I don't know. It's just food. It's just food. Don't go too crazy. But try for yourself. Try reserve. See what benefits you start to notice. But most will remember it's a food. So, can children take reserve? Yes. Can pregnant women take Reserve? Can elderly take Reserve? Anyone who can eat food can take Reserve. One thing, dogs, no, because it contains grapes. Had someone telling me, she's a vet, she said, give Reserve to your dog, then she Googled, she said, hold on, no, grapes are not good for dogs, but they're fine for humans, so don't go crazy. So it's just a food, that's how to take it. So what will it do? Anti-aging, anti-tumor, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial, blood sugar, liver, there's so many things, the list is endless. Be cautious in what you say when making claims. I'm today talking in like a private, closed meeting with distributors. I'm educating you on Reserve and resveratrol. If you submit to compliance a brochure that you want to make, and that brochure that you're going to use to the public says cancer, tumors, anything like that, it is not forbidden. You can actually be disciplined. If you go publicly claiming that Jeunesse Reserve will cure cancer and other things, you can be disciplined for Jeunesse. Be mindful. Do not get yourself in trouble. Do not get the company in trouble. Understand the difference between the natural ingredient of resveratrol and the Jeunesse brand of product Reserve that contains resveratrol. You will not see, you open the brochures, there's one on the floor. So we've given you brochures outside. This one.
So this is also in the back office. So this is going to be under distributor information, under India. So this is also there, so they can also print it out, show it to people. We will also be having a Hindi version of the same uploaded.
Okay, so can I ask? Yeah. So this is India compliance approved?
Completely, it's completely India compliance approved. Even the ingredients behind exactly India ingredients. All the wordings, everything is correct.
So anyone in the room can say anything printed here in India?
Yes, yes. And this is exactly what is uploaded in the back office under distributor information under India and the Hindi version as well.
So let this be your guide. There's a free copy. You can download a PDF or print. But this is the scope of what you can say regarding Reserve. When it comes to resveratrol, say what you want. That's not Jeunesse. And it comes to linking the two, just be very cautious, okay? You have one question? Oh. Nutraceuticals? Okay. That's the word we put here. It says nutraceuticals.
Yes, because I was looking at it. It's just to help you out, because under FSI, it's very, very careful, because I do labeling, and I've been dealing with FSI labels so far. I've been dealing with them for quite some time. It's extremely important to use the word may help, because that sort of gets you out from everything. And the word, when you use may help when you're talking to people, it sort of gets you into a point where you're not making a therapeutic claim, you're not making a health claim, you're not making any kind of claim that prevents cures, because the disclaimer on any FSI label says this product will not be used for prevention, for curing, or for anything, for diagnosis of the disease. Because based in India, FSI is very, very clear on the scope of a nutraceutical and a dietary supplement under health supplements. So it would be very, very, I think most people should understand that when you are talking to people or anybody, always at all times say may help or supports. It gets you out of everything. But that's the way we live.
Very important input, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you. But even if you submit material to Jeunesse that you want to print and it says may help with the list of ailments, we will still deny that. In official Jeunesse approved literature, advertising, claims, even may help, we will not approve. We will walk on the cautious side. You be mindful of what you say to be compliant at all times. So don't make any medicinal, therapeutic, or preventative claims. So that, my friend, introduces Reserve to the Mumbai market. It's been in India for a week. I want you to buy it, I want you to use it, and I want you to experience it. I want you to feel for yourself, see if you notice any difference. If you're young and fit and healthy, most likely you're not going to notice what antioxidants are doing in your body. But study the science and know that this is a good preventative. So if you are young, fit and healthy, this will help you to stay that way, which is what I want, which is why I take Reserve every day, to keep young, fit and healthy, to keep my organs in good condition. Thank you everyone. That is the launch of Reserve.